Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Frozen Fortunes, the final one of the season, which is weird because it's only episode 6. I know the season lengths do vary massively, but I just figured that there's no point in us doing 3 episodes of League games, really, because it would take an entire week, and it would just be us bashing sides. And I know that's kind of fun, but I guess that could be a little bit boring to watch, so I've tried to avoid that. And I think that's one of the mistakes I kind of made with Midtjylland, and I think we've kind of got over that hump with this save, so that's kind of good. Also, apologies in advance, I'm feeling a bit unwell the last few days, including today, so if my enthusiasm is a little bit below my normal level of excited bunny rabbit, then I do apologise for that in advance. Right, so this is our overall balance. 22 mil in the bank. We've got some Champions League money because we were running a bit low. We did get 16 mil for that, which was pretty damn nice. Transfer fund is still sitting at 6.5 mil. I had to shuffle some stuff around, so we've actually got a little bit more. We're due some more money coming in. I'm very curious to see how much the board will give us at the end of the season. I've just had a look, and Clayton is now wanted by PSG. I will be gutted if we lose out on him, because he's the kind of player that I really do think could take us to the next level next season, because I think next season could be either the last or the penultimate season of this save, depending on how long it takes and stuff. First up, away at Bromby, a simple 2-0 win. Goals from Momcilo-Vasic with a lovely goal from a corner. I believe it was a corner. It must have been. It's him. And then one from Mariusz Jankowski as well. A pretty poor performance overall, though, really. We didn't create a great deal, but it didn't matter, and we got a 2-0 win. We then followed that up with an unfortunate 0-0 draw away at FC Copenhagen, but frankly, I don't even think it was that unfortunate. I think they probably could have won on the night. Brian Ling was excellent. Peter Sorgel was our best player, but it was just a stalematey game and a 0-0. We have sort of struggled a little bit in the latter stages, but of course we are playing a higher level of opposition on a more regular basis. They really did well with the possession in this game. So the end of the seasons are always going to be harder because we've got harder teams in every game. Next up, we had our cup quarter-final against Esbjerg. This was one hell of a match. There was key passes galore. We had 36 shots in this game. Still managed to concede 2 goals, though, which was a bit of a pain. 2 goals from Art Yakin, 1 for Victor Christensen. He cannot stop scoring. 2 more for Jonas Svenningsson. Our cup goal scoring has been phenomenal. And then Alvaro da Silva did get 2 for Esbjerg, but it wasn't enough. And Rogers Jr. got a 67% cross completion ratio, which is insane. Next up, we kept the ball rolling very, very fast at home to AGF. 4 goals in the game from Mariano Bravo was superb. A late one from Riley as well. They did get one back, which is a pain. We deserved a thumping win, and we actually got it. This was probably the best we've looked in the league for a while. Next up, and on the topic of hat-tricks, we had another one in the next game, this time Mark Yakim grabbing himself a hat-trick. Alex Salazar did get one for Aalborg, though, in a 3-1 defeat at home, keeping the run going, looking to break all sorts of records. Next up was a 2-0 comfortable home win over bottom of our group, Randers. They've really struggled since they got into the championship group. It's just nice to see them there. Svenningson's goal and another one from Mariusz Jankowski gave us a comfortable 2-0 victory. Next up, we got some sweet, sweet revenge for the team that inflicted our only league defeat to date by thumping them 4-0. 2 goals for Jonas Svenningsson. Admittedly, one was a penalty. 1 for Andre Cunha, which was nice. He actually set up his own goal, basically. And Mark Yakin grabbed a 4th one. We could have had 5 or 6 in this game, really, and possibly should have done. And in our next game, which was the Cup semi-final, and the reason why I'm not wearing a polar bear onesie, we actually lost. They scored. They went in front on the stroke of half-time through Buru. Mehdi Kuja equalised just after half-time. He had a good game. But then they scored in the 61st minute. Mehdi Kuja gave us a 91st minute equaliser, and I thought that had rescued it. But extra time went through, and then unfortunately on penalties, Roger Johnson drinking. No, Carl Rogers Jr. and Yaroshinsky got, well, they missed penalties, and then, of course, they only missed one of theirs penalties, so we did go out, and Nordsjælland went on to play in the cup final against Odense, which Odense have won. Odense, the bottom of the table team, with the worst points in the entire division, have won the Danish Cup, which means they'll be in Europe next year, but it also means that if they get relegated, we could have a team from the 2nd division representing us in the Europa League next year. So that bodes well. We did, however, get straight back on the horse after that with a 2-0 victory over FC Copenhagen with Jonas Svenningsson getting both goals. I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty certain that Sergio Santos has gone on loan from Bayern Munich to FC Copenhagen. There was a guy playing in that role called Santos, and I think that was him. I didn't get a chance to check, but I'm pretty certain that's where he's gone, the big traitor, joining the rest of our former players that are all at this club, including Mamadou Niang, Jonas Simeon, Leiva, there's another one as well, Eamon Zayem. Next up, we actually had a very fortunate win this time away at AGF, who put in a really strong performance on the night. Jonas Svenningsson got himself 2 goals for us, which was great, but then they sort of flipped things on us, or did they? I actually can't even remember in this one, but Momcilo-Vasic, this was the one with the header, bailed us out with a late goal to give us the win. Svenningsson unfortunately broke his cheekbone in this game, and I think he's going to miss the rest of the season, which is a pain, because he, Bravo, and Yakin were all going for league's top goal scorer, and I was trying to put my money on the one that was getting the most goals at the time, but then they stopped scoring, someone else would. Unfortunately, though, in our next game, we did get a 0-0 draw at home to Aalborg, which ended our hopes of getting 100 points in the league this season, which is a shame, because I really do want to do that, and we just sort of seem to dried up the goals on this one, but a 0-0 draw, not great. And then in the final game of this run, we lost 2-0 to Midtjylland, and I think we got mugged off a little bit here. We were better than them on the night and probably should have won the game, let alone lost 2-0. But that was back-to-back games in which, with our first team out there, we did not score a single goal. And I think that's the first time this season in back-to-back games that we haven't scored. So that was a bit of a shock, bit of a shame, but there you go. And all of that leaves the league looking like this. We are, of course, still massively top of the league. 93 points, best points tally in the history of the division, which was 92 before, so we've already beaten that. But the 2 defeats and those few little bits that we've dropped points on, Randers, as you can see, have dripped away massively, as you would expect. Midtjylland have wrapped up second spot and will be in the Champions League next year, which is pretty damn cool. It is a battle for the rest of them, though, and I really don't know whether Odense are going to be able to... Well, the Odense are going to be playing in Europe next year, so that's going to be very, very interesting. However, they did win their first game in the playoff 2-1 away, so they might actually be able to stay up, or they'd go into like the playoff against one of our other teams. Also worth noting that on loan, Daniel Vlaslovsky, on loan at Vela, has got 23 goals in the league while on loan from us. What a season he has had. One of the best players in the division, which is outstanding. Svenningsson does actually get to double-figure assists in the league for 4 years in a row, which is actually very impressive considering the number of games he's played in that period. Now, I might have done a good here. I saw a player come up in our scout reports, and his contract was nearly up. This is Milan Harmat. He plays for Borac over in Serbia at the moment. But my lord, we've got him on a free transfer, guys, and he's going to be joining us at the end of the season. He's going to be on like 8k a week, but that still isn't actually that much when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. He will be our first choice goalkeeper next year. Jose Angel will drop down to second choice, and Amoa I will probably try to move on for some decent money, which we can try to reinvest. But for free, I couldn't really turn him down. Driven, consistency, he's great. Also, our youngster, Diego Maurizio, the young Brazilian, not only has his determination gone up after being tutored by Ward Prowse, but now, having been tutored by Mariano Bravo, he's got fairly professional personality as well. So he's gone from being an unambitious player with low determination to decent determination and a fairly professional personality. He's all about ready to launch himself into stardom with us, frankly, and I'm very pleased about that, though he does have an injury. Look at his goal scoring this year. It is insane. In the reserves group, in 13 matches and 1 substitute appearances, he got 25 goals as we absolutely thumped that league. We also won the Under-19s league, so this is the first year that we've won all of them. One slight downside is that Nuno Santos asked me to leave. The atmosphere thing didn't work. I couldn't get anyone to talk to him. So I've said that I'll accept a bid of like £7 million if one comes in from Marseille. I'm hoping they don't, and if they do, and it's not public, then we might still be able to get more money from him than that with some big add-ons and stuff. I don't really want to have to, but the atmosphere thing hasn't worked so well lately. Finally, I just wanted to show you the Champions League. PSG, the team that we beat over 2 games, if you like, in the group stages, went all the way to the final and won it. Michael Arner scored 21 times in the Champions League, 7 assists as well. What a player he is. Svenningsson actually still came second in the top goal scorers charts with 11 goals, despite not playing in the latter stages for much. Very, very impressive from him. Arner looks like a world beater, but we beat this PSG team that are the champions of Europe, so that does give me hope that next year, if we can get everything to go right, there might be a chance for us. Also, don't worry, we are going to do some transfer targets after this. There's not a lot of them, but I have filtered it down to a few. And whoever gave me the tip about going to the scouting screen instead of doing it in the news article so you can get it all sorted, you're a genius, sir. Or madam. Right, but what we're really here for is this. Away at Randers, I do want to win, though. I want to get to 96 points and give ourselves a target to beat next year. The plus 70 goal difference is huge. We've already scored the most goals of any team ever in the top flight, but we're not going to get to 100 goals either, which is a shame. So Randers do play a weird tactic. Oh my lord, look at this. Frano, and apparently it is Frano. I don't know. Someone pointed this out to me in the comments. I didn't know his name was Frano Budimir. I always thought it was Franco, because that's a name, and Frano is a strange one. I've never heard a name before. But there you go. Miranda up top, who's been fantastic this year for them. Ustigor, I assume Iya will probably be on the bench too. So we mark up, I guess, Ustigor. Go with the standard system because we want the 2 players back. A quick switcheroo. So Svenningsson, of course, can't play, and it's a massive shame that he can't, but there you go. Yakin will finish it off. I don't think there's a chance of either of these 2 getting top scorer in the league, not with what Vlaslovsky's done on loan. Akinola, Surgor, Jankowski, Satar, Cunha, Vasic, Simovic, and Santos. I am tempted next year to maybe start putting Victor Christensen in as a first choice player because he's looked superb when he's played this year. And I do wonder if he could start to overtake Sani Akinola and getting him exposed very soon might be a good idea because Akinola's kind of reached his peak as far as like his potential has got. So I do wonder if it's maybe worth maybe not moving him on, but flipping them over in terms of, that's what we did with Surgord, with Juan Shishi. On the bench, Amoa, Olsen Krejci, Rally, Barbello, who's finally back from injury, Yalashinsky, and Kuja. It's weird seeing the morale not completely green, but we haven't actually won in our last 2 matches, and we haven't scored in them either. So we need something a bit better than that today, for crying out loud. Technically, we could still break the record for goals, well, the 100 goal mark, but I think it's very unlikely. In fact, I just wanted to have a look. 93 goals is what we've got at the moment, so yeah. Better goal better defense than that last year. We definitely improved, that's for sure. Right then, question of the day. And today's question is this. When you play FM off camera or do private saves, do you find yourself talking as if you're in a video? Yes. If anything, I was kind of doing that even before I did FM on YouTube. Probably one of the reasons I actually started it. I just had this weird urge to commentate on anything when I was a kid and as an adult and as a man and as me now, basically. So like when I was younger, I would play like this NHL game and I would commentate on like the games and stuff like that. It's a weird thing, I know, but I guess that's how I would love to be a commentator. It's great. I'm probably shit at it, but it's just one of those things. So yes, I do. If I'm in a room, for example, with M while I'm playing some games off camera, I will have to struggle to hold myself in and not commentate. And you might notice sometimes when we score, I'll do this weird thing and I'll find myself on the sofa doing that. So yeah, I am encourageable, shall we say. So yeah, let me know in the comments, do you do that as well? If you make videos, even if you don't, do you find yourself sort of subconsciously commentating on games? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any ideas for a question of the day, drop them in the comments too with the hashtag QOTD. 9 minutes gone here. Rwanda's getting a lot of the ball against it. Oh, no, they're not. Never mind. We're still looking all right. The first 10 minutes doesn't really reveal a great deal. Cunha, an early goal will be good for us though. Bravo! And there is the early goal. Assisted by Andre Cunha. We've got the lead away from home. There we go. Yes. 96 points is an awful lot of points in a 36-team league. I have to be saying that. Well, Manchester City got 100 in the Premier League with 38 teams. 38 games. I said this before, didn't I? What a great header this was, Mariano Bravo. Cunha with yet another assist. I'll be very interested to see how many he gets by the end of the year. So, what do now? I guess keep going, really. It has just occurred to me that FC Copenhagen, as things stand, are actually going to drop down into 4th place in the league, which could have a bearing on what sort of round they would enter in the old... Miranda's through, you know. Oh, what a save. Yeah, what round they enter the Europa League next year. So that's kind of interesting too. I kind of wish they just come second, frankly, because I don't know how well Midtjylland are going to do at trying to get into the Champions League, unless they make some massive signings, really. Bravo! Oh, second goal would make me feel a little bit more comfortable at the moment. Akinola! Oh, my goodness. Just as I was talking about maybe taking him out of the team for next season, we are 2-0 up. Bravo and Akinola doing their jobs. And Jensen's put AGF 2-0 up at home to Copenhagen. And the thing is, Copenhagen are only 1 point off from being 5th. Obviously, they can't because it's AGF, but they've certainly not had a strong season at all. Simovic, out for Cunha. What's he fancy? Another one, perhaps? Goes round his man, ball in, yak him! Oh, it really should have been another one. Okay, so half-time. Don't get complacent. Just keep going. 2-0 is very, very comfortable. We've scored the goals today. We've got 95 goals scored in the league. I would like to at least have as many goals as we have points. That would be kind of cool. That's always one of my records I like to try and beat. Yak him! Bravo! Oh, what a tackle from Brun. Miranda is quite the player, though. I feel like he's single-handedly the reason that Rounders have managed to qualify for the this group anyway. Bravo! Should have been another goal. Can he fill it back for someone? No. Santos? Oh, I'm tempted to even have a look at Miranda, simply because Rounders aren't one of the big sides that we're going to be competing against. And I wouldn't mind having a look and see whether he is actually that good. And if he is, maybe we could put a bid in. I don't know. I'd prefer not to. But, you know, if we get desperate and the whole Clayton thing falls through, then we might have to have a look at that. Satar, who's had a great season. Bravo again. Yak him! It's 3-0 and Mariano Bravo will get the assist this time. Lovely old job. Having a beautiful time. That's 96 goals scored in the league. If we can get 4 more in the rest of this game, which seems very unlikely, we would hit the big 100. And Satar has just been superb this year. He's been a step up from Rogers Jr., despite not looking all that great in some areas. Yak him with the goal. Doan? Sure. Ustigor. Budamir's through. Oh, and he scored. Freno Budimir, he's had a bit less game time this year for Randers, but he has finally got a goal for them here. He's still got a decent amount, I think, for them, but not a huge. He does score a hat-trick earlier in the year, though, I think. They play this very, very nicely, actually. 3-1. They're back in the game. I don't think they've actually won a single match in the championship group, which is a bit of a shame for them, but it seems it was just a bridge too far. We should have done better defensively there. We've got practically our entire team on top of him. Benali's picked up a knock, though, so there's going to have one less player on the pitch at the moment. Sugod! Saved by Long. Maybe let's not give them too much hope here, eh? Vasic, who's been superb since he's come in, I must say. A couple of goals as well from centre-back. He's turning into a real Aldo Safety type of player. So Tar's ball, perhaps. And it's in the back of the net. It's Andre Cunha, of all people. One fullback assisting the other one. Cunha's seen what Matthias Olsen has done this year when he'd suddenly scored 4 goals. And suddenly, over the last few games, Andre Cunha has been offering more of an attacking threat in terms of his actual goal scoring too. I thought this was going to be Mark Yakin, but Cunha's made that run into the box. And you can't really begrudge him this. What a header. It's 4-1 now and Cunha scored. I'm honestly tempted to switch it to attacking, just so I can see if we've got it in us to actually go for the 7-1. If we win the 7-1, that would be quite something, because it would give us the 100 goals. I think it's unlikely. Sure. That's a good ball, actually. Miranda's in behind. Miranda and Budimir have still done their best today, bless them. Santos. Oh, nice ball for Satar. Mem surely going to pour forward here. Satar. Sugo. Jankowski. Oh, look at the space for Cunha. And there's the ball for Cunha. Now he can do what he does. Got to pick a pass. Ball in. Bravo! It's 5-1. Mariano Bravo with another goal today. 2 for him on the night, 2 assists for Andre Cunha, and a goal. He's putting himself forward for man of the match, got to be said. Look at this pass from Jankowski. This is why I love this guy. I know it's an easy pass to make in a way, but Andre Cunha, what about this? Great first touch, drives into the space, drills it through the corridor of uncertainty, and there's Bravo for 5-1. I tell you what, 7-1 could be on the cards here. Just going to get some fresh legs in some certain areas. I'm tempted to get Matthias Olsson on for him, even though they're looking fantastic so far. Maybe Barbello for Vatic. Barbello's done a brilliant job this season too. And maybe Yadashinsky for Jankowski as well. Come on, 2 more goals. Can we do it? It'd be quite cool if we actually did get the 100 in a position like this, considering we hadn't scored in 2 games. Jose Angel, Matthias Olsson. It's amazing that he's the number 2. Both he and Cunha wanted to leave to join Milan, but thankfully the atmosphere did at least keep those 2 at the club. Akinola. Satar! Saved. Satar. He could look cross-field. He's got that looks for... switch ball to flanks ball. Oh, and Yakim's in! Oh, it could have been 6-1 right there. Doesn't look like it's going to quite happen, but a 5-1 win on the final day is still pretty damn good. To score 98 goals in the league and have more goals than points is pretty impressive, frankly, and I will take it. Great performances again from the front line tonight. And that should be about to do it here. A 5-1 win away from home is nothing to be sniffed at, particularly with the fact that the other results, 4-1 win for AGF over FC Copenhagen is a huge win, and Aalborg's win over Midtjylland leapfrogs them over Copenhagen, so interesting there. Just saw in a news article, I don't know if you're interested in that, but Charlie Austin is now the manager of Huddersfield Town. So the final league table looks like this. We've got a plus 74 goal difference, 96 points on the board. Copenhagen come 4th, which is really, really bad for them. Cunha actually, at the last minute there, actually leapfrogs over and may well win Player of the Year after all. I knew it was going to be him or Olsen that was going to be in the running for that, but Yakim number 2 as well. And Jensen actually top scorer with that hat-trick now, so that's interesting too. Okay, so here is our current shortlist. There's only 14 players on it this time. I've been a bit more picky this year with kind of what we're looking at. So, obviously, the goal, I did have a few more on it that we'd already got signed up. There's another Croatian guy, which we'll see in the summer, who's coming in on another free transfer. I'm loving these free transfers from Eastern European sides. You can get really decent players for free. It's great. So you're guaranteed profit, basically. So Clayton, he's wanted by PSG, and he's also wanted by me. So, like, he would be probably one of the best players at the club if we could bring him in. He's got a cap for Brazil now as well. Big matches, he's got... Okay, the consistency isn't great, but I've never really found much of a problem with that so far. If it's like red, then maybe, but as long as it's orange, I'm okay. There's also this guy, Marko Cernic, who plays for Kukuricki over in Serbia as well. I love Serbia. It's such a great fertile hunting ground for players. I think he looks fairly ambitious personality. Nothing negative there that's that important for me. Decent stats in a lot of areas. The problem is, he can play as an attacking midfielder. He's got decent finishing. He's short, which wouldn't make him great in the air. But that's, the question is how much we'd have to pay for him, really. But he's only 19. He's not on a long... Well, he's the sort of one I might go after as well. Also, feel free to let me know. If you see a player in here that's like, yes, pick him up, then do drop it in the comments. I'm always very interested to hear. This is Wim Driesen. I don't know. He probably cost us quite a lot. Striker, 15 finishing, 6 foot tall, resolute, adaptable, no consistency issues at all, no injury proneness, cuts inside from left wing, because he can play there too, but we wouldn't deploy him there, of course. An interesting one. Don't know how much he'd cost. Midfielder here, Miroslav Pilsek. Yet another Czech player, 16 years old, 20 determination, driven, of course. Flair, a little bit on the low side. Thing is, we kind of want... Do we need... He'd kind of be a box-to-box type of player, I think. If we could pick him up... If Clayton, we can't get him, then we're going to have to spend a lot of money on a less players rather than one big transfer, basically. Another 16-year-old here, but the marking isn't great, really. He's only a balanced personality. He might be one that we could pick up on the cheap, perhaps, from Bohemians. He's still only 16 years old, I suppose, but he's sort of a bring in, loan out, and develop type of player, perhaps. Oh, there's also this guy, Goran Dedic, who is already joining us, because... we picked him up for some measly amount of money, like 100 grand. So I thought it was worth bringing in with the 83's recommendation from my scouts. I couldn't really say no to that. 6'5", central defender. Okay, but he's only 16, so there's plenty of room for him to grow. He's got his balance, he's consistent. He's got a lot of decent pros here, works well within a team. There's a lot of things to like about this guy, and he will be joining us already. That deal is already done. But that's kind of really about it. There's nothing amazing that stands out from these players. Usually, if I see someone that's genuinely fantastic, I would just sign them straight up. I won't bugger about by putting them on these lists. Clayton's the only one that's on here for that kind of reason, just because we don't have the funds yet. We can get more funds, though. We can get it up to sort of 9 million, plus I can call in some money from the Miranda deal to bring that up to 11 million. So the board would really only have to give me a bonus of like 6 or 7 million to maybe get this deal over the line. It's just a question of whether I actually want to go through with a 16 million pound signing. And he'd be on massive money, like 30, maybe even 40 grand, just to get him to come to the club. So, but we know he will come, so there is that. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about Clayton. We'll see where the money falls for us in the summer and what sort of things are moving around. So here endeth season, what is this, 12? 12 or 13? I can't even remember, of this save, which is about as far as I've ever been into a YouTube save, frankly. We're nearly coming up to episode 100, which, considering I'm only doing videos 3 times a week, is pretty insane, frankly. So if you have enjoyed this season and you've just enjoyed this save up to this point, do be sure to hit a like on the video. That means the world to me. And if you're new to the channel, of course, hit that subscribe button. There will be an analysis video tomorrow with a squad report at the start where we're going to go through every player as well. So that could be a little bit longer as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode for transfer goodies. Will Clayton sign? I guess we'll find out. And it might also be like mid-September, right at the start of the Champions League groups, that I might go all the way to, because why the hell not, frankly, if we're no Europa Super Cups or anything like that. See how much time I've got. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.